What up, Norrisville? This is Protagica, aka Rachel. I'm here with
Aisha.
And we have a super sweet special guest today. With us is
the one
Namakond.
Namakond. You're gonna be Namakond. Lion Namakond. And finally admitting to her real name, Morgan. This is former Ninja Turd and current songstress, the one true ninja fan, Morgan Prude.
Hello.
She's got the deep dish, unless Disney will come for her to violating her non-disclosure agreements. Also, we have to apologize in advance for this audio situation. We have to use some kind of weird triple program backdoor here.
Tried everything.
We tried.
It's my computer's fault.
But we're not going to let that stop us.
Heck yes.
All right, so you have bonus information on like every season 2 episode since you were out and about. Were you not?
I was out and about. I was on location.
On the set of Ninja Show.
You know what's up with the WhatsApp?
I know what's up.
So let's talk about the most.
I know to be honest, I know as much as, me being an intern and terrified lets me know, but
yeah, okay. With that disclaimer aside, the most important what's up with the what's up is this episode, season 2, episode 16B, Ninja Fan.
Yes. Ninja
So
fan.
tell us, Morgan, about your role in this episode.
Oh my goodness. So I didn't know a lot of what to expect from this episode. When I was interning at Titmouse, they were just starting to write the episode. So occasionally, a writer would come up to me and was like, "Oh yeah, we're kind of thinking of this and kind of thinking of that," and I'm just like, "Yeah, that's great."
Right. If I recall, this episode initially had a very different direction, involving the kidnapping of Hannibal McFist.
What? I want to see why. Why did they change that?
Yeah. I read a script that had initially had Rachel.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
There's so many versions of this that I loved. That I was just in love with.
Tell us a couple. They're dead scripts now, so it's not like you're. Oh fuck! Disney came for her. She just got smothered. They emerged from the shadows.
Tell them they don't have any affiliation with Ninja Turtles. Don't, okay? It's not their show anymore.
Who said that they had affiliation with Ninja Turtles?
Not sent them an email asking about Randy Cunningham merchandise, and they replied. I think they didn't really read the email properly, so they just replied, "We're not affiliated with Ninja Turtles."
No.
I'm so serious.
Fucking.
Oh my goodness.
I
think that in itself tells us like relationship with Disney right now. We're like the stepson. Like they don't even know we're in the house right now.
Long lost.
Right, we were discussing before the mic turned on, like Randy is like their son, but they forgot and like they changed all the locks in their house, so he's trying to like get home by sneaking through the window, and they think he's like a burglar. Get the gun.
Oh my goodness, that's so sad.
It really is, and like it's not just Disney. I went to Titmouse on Friday because of animation class field trip. Yes, in Titmouse, New York, right? And I asked if they had Randy Cunningham merchandise, and they were like, "No, that's very rare." I'm like, "What?" It's like an endangered species.
Like we don't talk about that here. Like what? It's a show. It's a Titmouse show. Oh, that's really sad. I think the biggest Randy Cunningham fans corporately are the people who work on Randy Cunningham, because we like make our own merch for ourselves and stuff. So that's really sad. Oh man,
right.
That bums me out. We need to get a third season.
Got off track here. Tell us about some other iterations of this show, of this Ninja Fan episode.
Other than Rachel stealing or kidnapping McFist, I remember there was a Howard B plot that had to do with him being a fan of someone else too, and him going overboard. It was kind of like paralleling. Mm-hmm. It was really funny.
Who was he a fan of?
I think it was either like the only superstar Brock, I think, or someone else. I can't remember. Like Brock had said something to him one time that he blew out of proportion or something. But yeah, I like the B plot though that they did with Howard though about him, you know, surviving on his own.
Oh yes, I am a man now.
Did he build all of that?
No, I feel like he just found it. I'm like convinced he just found like a treehouse, and he's like, "This is my domain now."
We're a summer home.
Oh my goodness!
Right. Also, but
he could feed him. Howard could have died in the woods. He could. He was foraging in the wild.
I was sort of wondering when they sort of introduced that plot, like which way it was going to go. Like either Howard, I knew he was either going to become like a master of nature, or he was going to become like a hobo.
Right.
He became both.
Either way, he would do it in like within like 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's so fast too because since you know, like where I live now, it's like I am like Brandy Cunningham person. Like that's my identity now. But all of my family watched that episode, and they're like, "It was so fast. We had to like watch it twice." And I'm like, "Well, good. Buy it on iTunes and watch it again." But it's a very fast show for people who don't know what's going on.
That's interesting.
Get a little too fast for me.
Yeah, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. These most recent episodes seemed very well paced to me, compared to like whatever happened in like Living with Shooblivion or whatever.
Yeah,
still. Do you know anything about that? Can you please explain?
No, I mean it's basically like too much stuff, not enough space. Like we have so much to tell you, but it's like. It's so many pages.
Yeah, I was like, did he just? This is like Jim, just like, you need to cut this down by 2 pages, and he just like threw away the first 2 pages. That was his editing process.
It's so weird though. It looks like it's so comprehensible, like on paper. Like you're like, yeah, this is great. This is gonna work out. And it goes through like so much. Like, okay, it has to get animated. It has to get boarded, and then okay, and then it's
Dude,
like, oh yeah, this works. It still works. Yeah.
Things take so long. This is like the main thing I learned at this like animating school here freshman year is like you have to budget so many frames for something as just like sitting down. It takes so long to sit down.
It takes so much work. And I have so much respect. That's why I get so defensive when like people like shit on like Uncle Grandpa and stuff. I'm like, you don't know how much hard work goes into these cartoons.
You don't know how hard it is to animate a pizza.
I know. I'm like, it's okay. It's not your flavor of cake. Don't eat it. There's a lot of people that work on this stuff, and it's so. I know it gets me. It gets me. But yeah, and that's why it's like I've been sitting on this for like over a year.
Right.
Knowing all of this.
Yes, just like
and,
filled with knowledge. You know,
ninja
knowledge. They should have mind wiped you before you left.
No. You know, like the intensity of like.
I know, I do know. It was so intense. There was a day when she called me up. This was what turned out to be after reading the script of True Bromance, and where were you? Were you like in the parking lot or something? Like where were you even calling me from? The bathroom? What was that?
I have to talk about like how hard it was to be a fan of the show and work on the show. That's why I'm so glad I had you, because I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah, no, what happened? She read, there was one day she just like called me on the phone, like during the day, and she's like, she's just panting into the phone. She's like, I can't do this. I can't do it.
I remember now, I was walking to Subway. I was like on the street in LA. I had to take a break. I said, I can't do this, Rachel. I can't do it. Because at that point, I thought I had a pretty good grasp on, separating my work mind from my fan mind. I had to, okay, I got those guys. But then you hit some information, and it reminds you that you're still a really huge honking fan.
Like, Aisha, can you imagine, like, being isolated, being the only one to, like, know what was in True Bromance?
I felt so bad for my other intern friend because I kept like telling him like, you don't understand.
Right. That's how she was like, yeah. She like, it was when you watch the animatic screening for the finale, and the way she told me about that was she's like, I was so excited, and then the other guy was like, stop saying I don't understand.
Yes. Okay. So they did a screening of the finale, of the animatic of the finale, and everyone was sitting there like, okay, this is a thing that we all worked on. This looks really nice. We're really excited. I'm in the back sitting here like, I'm a fan. I've never seen anything about it. This was before I knew like everything was on the server, so I hadn't read anything about the finale. So I'm sitting there beside my intern friend, and I keep hitting him in the leg. I'm watching it. I was hitting him in the leg, and I kept saying under my breath, you don't understand. You don't understand. Like, at the point where they were doing the freaking Pacific Rim, Tengu.
No, yeah, right. Oh. It's just you and me, buddy.
Yeah, it's just you and me, buddy. Like, oh my God, that was the hardest day of my life. I was sitting there freaking out. And I think one of the writers noticed, because I was sitting behind, I think, Hugh Bover, and I think he like turned around and looked. But I mean, it was a big testament to how good the finale was, because I mean, I'm a fan, and but a lot of that happened like during the day. Like the first day that I worked as an intern for Randy Cunningham, I remember the production manager just saying, well, we're kind of getting your space set up and stuff, so here's the computer, if you just want to watch a couple episodes, that's fine. And then she like walks out, so I'm like, oh, okay. So I like open the folder, and this is all of like new season 1 episodes that I had never seen before. So I'm like, oh, and like HD. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just watch one. So like, I end up watching like so many. I can't even remember. And don't ever do that. It was an overdose.
No, that's what you said. After that day, you had to limit yourself to like 2 episodes a day or something max.
Yeah, because I left the office and I was like looking at people like, have you seen this show? And everyone works on the show, so of course they've seen it. But I'm like, has anyone seen how amazing this is?
Yo, guys, have you heard of a show called Randy Cunningham?
I had my little Bible ready to like go like evangelize people. Like it was a lot. So I'm like, okay, I can't do that again. That was too much information, too much like for my brain to handle. But I mean, little stuff like that happened, and I did a good job. Like no one knew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they know.
They're not gonna listen to this. I don't think like anyone does anyway. I don't think even like Jim even noticed the last couple of posts for this podcast.
I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I plan, just so you know, I'm gonna put your name like real big in all the titles. I'm even gonna change I'm gonna change the image. I'm gonna make a custom graphic just for this.
No.
Yeah. Maybe if you're lucky, it'll be like a high-res photo of your face. Just like badly transparencied in.
Shut up.
No. I'm threatened. Yeah, that actually reminds me, so Disney actually produced an official featurette about you and your situation, which if anybody listened to this, assuming you exist, wants any actual information on what happened instead of just confused yammering, I would read that, watch that perhaps. But wasn't your only condition that they not mention Tumblr?
Yeah.
They did. They like extra did.
They did, and then because I forgot, here's what I think happened. They made the featurette, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we should probably contact the girl we're talking about." Like, I'm pretty sure when they contacted me, they had most of it already recorded. So they were just like, "Oh yeah," because she literally called me right when I started like talking about all the interviews that I've done locally for this. So she called me while I was at work. And I'm talking about a Disney PR person. And they're like, yeah, so I'm sorry to call you out of the blue, but we're kind of making this thing. So if you want to like send us pictures and permission to use those pictures, and also can we use that song? And I was like, it was a lot of information. I was like, oh, sure, that's cool. They're like, sure, we'll be sure to send you the featurette, before you post it. They didn't, but that's okay. I just feel like Randy in this situation. I'm just long lost. Which is fine. I mean, they love the I love the featurette, and my parents love it, so I don't even think they really like care. And Laura Morano is super like adorable.
Yeah. It can I just say how like deeply it unsettles me, like how coincidentally this character Rachel like also looks like has my current hair and everything. So it's just like, yes, Rachel the ninja fan goes berserk. Fucking especially that old version of the script where like she kidnaps McFist or something. I'm like, I was like, can't wait for that.
Had nothing to do with that, I promise. It just happened.
Yo, but like actually, so getting back to that, if I recall, in the original version, the like Howard B plot was that Howard had a fan club.
Yeah, he had a fan plot as well.
So
which I think, but I think it was changed because everything that has to do with Howard has to be dealt with like very specific and very carefully. Howard is a very important character.
Because very important to Jed Elenoff.
He's very important to, well, if he's important to Jed Elenoff, he's important to everyone. He's a very important character.
Oh.
Very important. And I'm glad too, because like this season, Howard has just been doing everything.
He really has. Fucking, he saved Randy's ass like 100 times by now, but in the one.
We can't even have a counter on that anymore. Like the number of times Randy hit his head.
Yeah.
Now
it's the number of times Howard bails him out.
I stopped counting ages ago. I can't even. I think I'd get sad if I found out the number now.
Yeah, actually, this is something I forgot to mention when we were talking about that episode, Aisha. But in that episode where Debbie Metal or whatever, Randy he has to like argue with the Nomicon for another chance. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll fix this." He didn't. He never fixed it. Howard fixed it.
Well, it gets fixed.
It got fixed.
Who fixes it is kind of, nonplussed.
Like he had no plan for fixing this. And if Howard had done whatever it was Howard did.
Randy though, so he's like, you know what, guys, I did one thing today.
Yeah, he just he nearly drowned in ice. He could have killed himself with that ice trick.
And that scene was scary. I'm like, Randy,
don't smash the ice you're standing on. No.
That's his superpower. He has no self-preservation.
Exactly. No self-preservation instinct. But
no,
like
none whatsoever.
That actually, it really was like a really scary moment because it's just like such a strong mind. He's just some fucking kid, like on thin ice. I was so sure he was gonna like wake up like in a blanket, shivering.
And everyone would be like,
yes.
Like he's gonna
and everyone would be like, no, he can't be the ninja. The ninja wouldn't be that stupid. And the episode's over.
Black screen.
No, perhaps not that stupid. However, what we know now, the ninja can be a tremendous asshole. I was cringing at the screen in the Ninja Fan, what the ultimate version of this thing was. I'm like, Randy and Howard should be quarantined from the rest of the world.
They should, and this is why no one should ever pay attention to them. No one should ever pay attention to them or like them.
Everyone should just banish them to the mountains, like to live in Mount Chuck.
Yes. Become cave people. They wouldn't even notice. Just put like a video game in there.
No, not even a video game. Just like draw a picture of a video game on the wall and like chalk, and they would play it.
Fucking, I didn't mention this either. In the Roar Hero of the Past episode, when he puts on that diaper, like over his pants, like Randy was fully prepared to like piss in his pants, but like into like the diaper would just catch it if it made its way out.
It's moments like those where people like, this is your favorite cartoon.
I know. I just got somebody else to start watching me. She's like, yeah, I watched all the ones that were on demand. I'm like, you have to watch it in order. And then I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to judge me either way.
My family already judges me.
Really? Like, yeah, what's that experience like? So did they watch, like, the show now?
They do. When it's, like, convenient for them. Like, they can't figure out when it's on, and no one ever can.
I would not be able to figure out those crazy American timings anyway. I was in
Yeah.
Sydney.
I live here, and I wouldn't be able to figure them out, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, it could be worse. They could do with Randy what they did to Motor City, which is like decide that since they're not going to make any more, they just like moved the remaining episodes to like midnight on Sunday. But they weren't like, it wasn't clear whether they meant like midnight on Saturday or midnight on Sunday, you know?
Just
like
midnight.
when it becomes like, it just like, that was absolute disaster. What is it? Disney and Titmouse should just like never interact again.
Aww.
It's just not fair. Why are they so filled with hate?
I don't know.
Apathy.
And it's so sad because it's like when I was working there, it sounds like Disney's enthusiastic with working with us, but I mean it's like protocol, but still like they're like, that's so great. These are great ideas. Yay. And I'm like, show it to us. Say it out loud. Tell other people that you love us. Don't say it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I get maybe Randy Cunningham's Disney's guilty pleasure.
It's their guilty secret.
I basically watched Ninja Fan with my family, which is interesting. Very, 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 very interesting.
I was sad it wasn't the whole song. It was like parts of the song. I wanted the whole song.
I was well, here's the deal. Like Brad Reek probably did the whistling rendition, and I was like, oh, well, there's that. And then the end, I had no idea the end was happening. Like,
when Randy sang, I was so uncomfortable. I was like, stop looking at me with those big blue eyes, you asshole. You can't be that tremendously an asshole and then sing your way out of it.
You can't. Like, he pulled out the ukulele, and I was like, they didn't.
Oh, yeah, the fucking ninja ukulele!
I'm glad he didn't announce it.
I'm sad he did. That's like my new, so my favorite, like, ninja weapon is ninja stalling wedge, but ninja ukulele is a close second.
A close second. It's definitely a close second. Why is, I don't understand. But okay, so when he pulled that out and he started singing, I was like, no way. And then my mom turns around, right? And she yells at the top of her lungs, Ben Schwartz is singing to you.
I know! Oh my god! That was the experience! Ben Schwartz is singing to me! That's what it felt like. Because, like, Ben Schwartz is singing to you, Morgan, specifically. But, like, he's also singing to all of us.
Yeah.
And yet each of us intimately.
That's so weird.
I don't want to be, like, I'm not prepared to be serenaded by Ben Schwartz. I was like, what's going on?
I wasn't prepared for it. I was not ready. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, you know how your ears kind of like hear that static, like the TV static? That's what happened. I was like, wait, is this really happening? It was adorable. Everything, like Randy's reaction was adorable. It was too cute. I'm like, no, Randy, you're supposed to be gross. I'm supposed to like feel disdain towards you.
Yes.
Stop. But most of the episode I did. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
well, then
he's literally like the hugest turd in history. I was watching that and I'm like, this is the guy. They couldn't find any better guy to be the ninja.
I really like it because he just gets spoiled just a little bit and he decides he's going to act like how he perceives Howard. Just like, I'm going to be Howard now. I'm spoiled. I'm the baby. I get everything. and he bundles himself up on that like wheel thing, caravan. I don't know what you call it. Rickshaw.
Oh my gosh. And bless Rachel, because I wouldn't have been able to do it. She
should have broke his legs.
Oh my god. But now it's like she just did it because she doesn't know what a huge butt he is. Like, she just did that because now, but like it's less obsessive. Like, you saved my life.
Yeah.
Yay. I had already written a song about you. Yay. Let me do something nice for you. Okay, yes, I dragged your unconscious body onto a massage chair. Yes. Maybe that's a little overboard. But
yeah, no. She was completely like sweet. I actually really like this because it's like a very positive light to portray the fans in.
Yeah, it's less of a jab to us and more of a jab to
how objectively awful Randy is. He's
so, which is why I mean, like, I really think his mom's a cinder block now, because no one can ever take care of him and like pamper him in any way, because like I don't think he's built for that. Like he needs to do the pampering.
He does.
He only needs to be beaten by books, and he's fine. He's really well.
Yeah, at the end there, he's like, the truth is, I do like getting bros for my cho, or no, chos for my bro. God damn, this look is slang. Chos for my bro.
He does.
He loves it. He was so mad when Bucky got them, and I was like remembering that.
Didn't you learn your lesson? Yes.
But he just wants to be appreciated, I guess, for it. He wants a thanks.
He didn't sqeepreciate us enough, and so he paid the price. I love how he uses that word. Like, they never even say appreciate. I think the entire episode they're saying sqeepreciate.
The entire episode. You just better get on board. Just get on board with it.
Never use a word as the way it's supposed to. Just like kill them all. Destroy the English language.
I remember like the hardest one to understand was even when they were recording it, it was back on Fumigation. Numero uno. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Q as a line? Like, we're number one. Q. Everybody was like, is that Spanish? What are they talking about?
Oh, I get it. Like, queued up. Okay. No. What?
I never did.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, there is that gag in it where they say competition, but they shorten it to Tish, and then Howard's is like, wait, too much? Oh, yeah. No, I like it. And, like, that's like writer's room dialogue.
There's thought that goes into they bounce ideas off of each other for words.
I'm just surprised that they care about it being too much. They never seem to care. This is always too much.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Brodio.
Sold on
Brodio, which everyone thought was Bromeo.
I know. I made you check the script. That's how I was like, I have to know. I can't live like this.
It's Brodio.
It is Brodio. You heard it here first. But oh my god. Oh, so back when you were working on the show, you mentioned like there was some line at the recording that people absolutely was like losing their shit about. Some Howard line where he was addressing something that couldn't talk back, an inanimate object or something.
Oh, you're talking about the time I was in recording and I was busting out laughing?
Yeah.
Like, the favorite line. Oh my gosh, that was also for Fumigation. That was the recording I went to, and Andrew Caldwell was doing his lines for Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, which is a reference. Like, what kid is gonna get that reference? But
yeah.
But yeah, he was like yelling at him to get, like, he was like, hold on, I'm going to get you some white bread. And he was like yelling it, and he was doing so many renditions of it. It was the funniest thing.
I got the white bread, I remember.
Yeah. I can't believe you remember that, but yeah.
No, because you told me, you were like losing it, and I was like, what's so funny? And you're like, I can't tell you. That's the big secret. He's yelling at a fucking bird about bread.
I didn't know how much I signed so many papers about like not talking about things. Oh, but that was super funny to me. Just watching Andrew Caldwell voice act was like awesome. It was like my favorite part. And Ben too. Ben was good too.
Ben. But right, so those are the recordings. Did you like meet with Brad Breek at any point for the song purposes?
I wish I would have. I would have loved to meet him, but I didn't meet. They kind of just got my recording, and then they kind of asked me to, transcribe the chords, which I know how to do. So I did that, and I kind of just sent it to him, and he did his magic. But I never got to meet him. They were, I think, when I was leaving, they were starting to actually work on the music side of it. So I was like, oh darn. Mm-hmm. I wish I lived in LA. You guys know how much I wish I lived in LA.
One day.
Yep, one day.
I mentioned it to my teacher. He used to live in California. He was like, oh, why do you want to go there? There's no water.
I would go without water. I would go without food. Just bring me closer to my horrible son, Randy.
Man can live on Ninja alone.
Honestly. I figure like once we see the upcoming episode when Randy met Howie, I figure like once I see that, I won't need food anymore. Like I just will be able to survive on that alone.
Babies!
Without the babus? Yeah, I think we can live on babus for a while.
Forever.
I think all of the fans will just like transcend into the air and will like become one. Like we're just one being.
I saw there's a promo picture with Randy and his head is so huge.
It's the same size as like his body just stretched out like a slinky, but his head just
I don't know. For some reason, maybe he's just like his mutantness is like sinking in, but it keeps looking like his reach is extending. He's just getting like more monstrous.
I think for certain like scenes, he might like do a little Elastigirl, but
yeah.
Other than that, I mean, especially when he stands next to Howard,
yeah,
it's like whoa, he's giant.
Yeah, but he's not. That's the hell of it. Like when you watch the season 1 finale with First Ninja, he's so little. Look at him.
Yeah,
he's small.
Like with any adult, it's like, oh yeah, he's a child. Like oh, but
I know you can't tell us anything, especially super anything ever. But like, how much child endangerment can we expect from Monday's episode? Like,
I'm not gonna. I can't disclose anything.
Okay. I'm just gonna assume as par for the course. Par for the course for Ninja Show. I'm assuming we're going to endanger some kindergartners. I think it's a safe bet. But like, I don't know.
As long as they have helmets, you basically can do whatever you want.
The rules for the fucking helmets and seatbelts.
That was a seatbelt.
No, oh my god, I forgot to tell you my favorite joke. But okay, go on.
No, you go.
Okay, my favorite joke was in Fudge Factory, right? I was there when they were pitching the storyboard or whatever. This was like the final storyboard, and the creators were in there, Jen Scott, and we had gotten so many notes because basically this is an episode about lying.
Yeah.
Lying is awesome.
I don't know. That didn't gel with Disney.
So Disney's like, okay, hey, we really, this is a really fun episode, but hey, can we maybe, emphasize that lying is not good a little more? So they're like, okay, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to be like, what I learned today is, how are we supposed to do this?
Yeah.
So they were literally like, you know what? Just do it. Just have Randy look at the camera, have him say, you know what? I did learn something today. It was so sitcom-y. It was so funny because he basically did that because Disney was like, okay, maybe Randy could talk about what he learned more, or maybe we can make it more apparent. Randy doesn't learn. He just has to understand. That was my favorite joke. It was just like how it came up to be was probably the funniest thing I've ever heard in like a room full of people.
A couple,
and to see it actually happen.
Yes, like there are a couple gags like that where I think it's in the Earth Attack episode with the rapping guys, whatever. But like at the end when like Randy's like, I learned something today, and Howard's like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, no, I didn't.
And then he like says something like, don't like, or giant worms will come attack you. He says something ridiculous.
It's like, yeah, don't use stones like and rap some monsters or something. He's like, I'm surprised you had to learn that lesson.
Yeah. I love it. I love you can't learn anything from the Ninja Show.
Yes,
don't you know? Learn things from it. I want to see how they end up.
Yes, Ninja Show is educational programming.
That phrase in general is just hilarious to me.
I mean, the things I feel like Randy and Howard are like, it's like Goofus and Gallon, but they're both Goofus. So you just kind of learn by like not imitating them in any capacity.
It's like
it's a cautionary tale.
You tell your kids before they go to bed, don't go into the swamp. Not go into the swamp.
I heard about these two kids that went in a swamp, and one of them nearly got turned to cover.
They nearly got killed by a swamp wizard.
Right. Again, every time this is mentioned, I have to say that that's like my favorite episode because of how avoidable it was.
Just don't go.
It's regardless if Randy's the ninja or not.
Exactly.
They would do that regardless, and that makes me so worried for them.
Yes, they would be dead. If Randy wasn't the ninja, they would just be two kids who died in a swamp.
And no one would know except Mort.
Yeah, except Mort.
Don't make me sad. Okay, Mort. I wonder if Mort would avenge his son. I feel like he could.
He'd be like the new supervillain. It's like Howard. Oh, I love Mort. I love Mort so much.
I love Mort so much. He's so cute.
Your fave.
I hope he's in the baby episode. I hope he drops off his kid. I want to see him.
Young Mort with like
whenever Howard addresses Mort, because I have like relationship with my parents, so I'm always like, yes ma'am, yes sir, and he calls like Mort by his first name, and I'm like,
he's so rude.
It's really
I mean, he was happy. He was like, "Oh, daddy."
Oh, daddy. He's happy because his dad was trying to destroy the ninja for him.
Howard's loyalty can only be won by blood.
Yeah, you have to kill for him.
That's why it's so dangerous. It's like, okay, Howard's already proven that he is a formidable enemy to the ninja. Mort has already proved that he's a formidable enemy to the ninja. If it was a father-son team, the ninja would be gone.
And if you threw Heidi in there, it'd just be over.
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah! In the Roar Hero of the Past, I fucking love how Heidi has the ability to preempt a broadcast.
Yes! We've been talking about this since, season 1. Heidi's, influence on the town is awesome. She literally has a TV show, news.
She's
It's like she's not just like Heidi's news TV show. If your TV is on and something happens, you're required to watch Heidi's show. She has she has that power to we interrupt this broadcast for an emergency announcement, but it's just fucking Heidi.
It's a high school.
Yeah. That actually was my favorite part of living in Shooblivion when Heidi and Howard were ragging on the ninja together. I was like, oh, they're bonding.
Oh, I loved it. I was so happy that they were getting along.
Alright. The audio is starting to give out for mysterious reasons, so and we're gonna run over my SoundCloud limit. So it is time to say thank you to our super special guest, Morgan Prude. And later, Norrisville.